Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Spirit of Vengeance 2, a sturdy sequel to the original that was able to bring the Synthesizer and Ghost Rider pain. We're coming back with an old friend as well, and a new card from the Strixhaven set, which gives us the legs to go long. It is the final year we'll be able to synthesize, and the time for our Robot Overlords is coming to an end. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of 3 steps ahead, our Swiss Army knife. It gives us 3 options, of which we are usually looking to fire off the copy mode to make an instant synthesizer or a copy of any one of our other artifacts. The counterspell option is very good, and we can use it to keep our board intact in the face of opposing board wipes. The dig option is decent, as we can use it to get a couple of cards deeper to try and find a card we need. With enough mana, we can use 2 modes, or even all 3. Cryogenic Relic is a great 2-mana artifact that helps us get out of shuffler specials. When it enters and leaves play, we get to draw a card. The relic can help buy us a bit of time by tapping down the biggest enemy for a turn, and sometimes that's all we need to be able to turn the tables with our mighty Robot Overlords. Perilous Snare is a fantastic artifact removal. It can hit any permanent the opponent has played out and will trigger any factories we have in play. As a bonus, once we hit max Verstappen speed, we can use the snare to add stat boosting counters to our men. While our Robot Overlords may not need the stat boost, Ghost Rider could benefit greatly from the increase in stats. Split Up is our mass removal for enemy men. We used to run Authority of the Consuls, but even without it, we can still take out their more dangerous men, and we can use it in a way that will leave our board untouched. Repurposing Bay is a great way to be able to fetch out our key artifacts right out of our deck. We can sacrifice our relics to get synthesizers, and any extra 3-mana artifacts can be sacrificed to get our 4-mana artifacts. While it does require a sacrifice, we do have a new card which gives us back permanents from our grave. The Synthesizer is key. We want to get at least 1 in play, and if possible, copy it as often as we can. With every artifact that costs 3 mana or more that enters play on our side, every factory will generate Robot Overlords. The Scry is useful to help dig up more ammo or more ways to trigger our factory outlet. The Helm is the perfect companion to the Synthesizer. It will generate a map token with every artifact token that enters play on our side. The map tokens can boost the stats of our Robot Overlords very quickly, and the Helm can even be used to make a token copy of any artifact token we already have in play. This is the reason we try to make a token synthesizer whenever possible. The Helm can keep making token factories to the opponent's dismay. Bender's Waterskin is a mana artifact that untaps during the opponent's turn. It's a great way to get additional mana when we need it most, either for using the counterspell option on our 3 steps ahead or activating a Helm to make a token copy. Chosen By Valgavoth is a secret weapon we plan to use on our Ghost Rider. It will immediately give a stat boost to whichever one of our men gets chosen. And then all damage that would normally be dealt to us is dealt to whoever we have chosen. Even a Robot Overlord can be big enough to survive the opponent's attacks and prevent us from taking the damages. Ghost Rider is the other half of the combo. Once we have him in play, the goal is to get a Chosen By Valgavoth on him. With his power of indestructibility, Ghost Rider will laugh off most removals and board wipes, and if he has been chosen, all damage will be redirected to him, and because of his ability, will then be directed at the opponent. From there, it's a matter of time before we take down the poor Oppo and their soiled pants. Pactdoll Terror is an old friend we've brought back to help us take down life totals without having to send in any of our men. The Terror will strike fear in the opponent. With every artifact that enters play on our side, we will drain the opponent for 1. Sounds slow and hard, but consider that we are geared towards making multiple artifacts enter play, and we can easily make a copy of the Terror to double up on drain triggers. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Restoration Seminar is the latest weapon from the new set. When we fire it off, we'll get to return a permanent card from our grave to the battlefield. That means anything that the opponent has managed to destroy will easily come back. Fallen synthesizers can make a return. Even if they are loaded with removals for our artifacts, we can get them all back from the grave. The Paradigm ability means we get a copy of this spell again on each of our turns. An Ultima is now just another card we can laugh at, then proceed to rebuild our board. For lands, we're playing 4 Watery Grave, the Dimir Shockland, 4 Gloomlake Verge, the island that becomes a Dimir dual when we have an island or swamp in play, 4 Hallowed Fountain, the Azorius Shockland, 4 Floodfarm Verge, the plains that becomes an Azorius dual when we have a plains or island in play, 3 Swamp, 2 Island, and 3 Plains. Playing the deck will take some patience, but the only difficulty is in deciding which artifact to fetch out when you have mana to activate a Repurposing Bay. While we do have pricey cards, we have plenty of plays in the 3 mana or less slot. Thanks to Restoration Seminar, we can pull out artifacts with a bay without worry. We can get back anything we sacrifice or that gets destroyed. Robot Overlords are practically guaranteed. Ghost Rider with a Chosen by Voldemort are GGs if the opponent can't do anything about Ghost Rider or the aura. It's heads we win, tails they lose. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Kuroshi. He's got himself some fancy pants. Very fancy. Pants. We are kicking things off with a 4-lander with a factory and a snare. The aura won't do much until later. Keep your pants on. They play out a case of the uneaten feast. There will be men. At least we suspect there will be. Their next play is a bat. They'll want to take the factory, but they really need to take the snare. If they leave us the snare, we can use it to get our factory back. We'll go with the relic. It's an extra card for us now, and another later. They go with a Bog Water Lumeret. The gain and drain combo has made the crossover to the Golgari side. You no longer need to be an Orzhov or mono white to be part of the life gain crew. We hit 3 mana, and it is time for the factory. On top, we have a land and a 3 steps ahead. We'll pass on the land. We have plenty at the moment. They double down on the case. Gain life they will. Then they follow up with an emissary, another life gain guy. They were just waiting for Strixhaven to release to put this deck together. Of note, they seem to have gotten stuck with their Shuffler special. We have to take a pair of points from our own Shockland, but that gives us the ability to make a surprise synthesizer, and we can have a robot pop up in our defense when they send it. They send it right away. They might have run out of plays, but we're just getting started. A surprise synthesizer gives us an instant Robot Overlord, and we can use it to block. On top, we have a Ghost Rider and a land. We'll pass on the swamp. We still have a pair of lands in hand. Say hello to my little friend. They have a sneaky surprise for us. It's a Leo, and he's coming in to hit us. We're dropping in Ghost Rider. We already have the other half of the combo in hand, and if they can't find a way to deal with him, it won't matter how much life they gain or big their Leo gets. They finally found a third land. What are you doing with that, bro? Staring at it? Touching it lovingly? No, they drop in another Lumeret. Sure, their Leo will get more pump, but we can gang block with our Robot Overlords, and that will end their turtle. Thanks to our Robot Overlords, most of their men are ornaments. The time has come to choose our Ghost Rider. Once chosen, all the damages that would be directed at us are instead being absorbed by the indestructible one. Let's send him in. We could send the entire squad, but maybe they don't know our combo. And if they try to return fire, we'll take all the damages. Well, Ghost Rider will take the damages. He loves taking hits. This time, they warp in a Halia. It's not a removal that can hit our Ghost Rider, which is all that matters. They are still too afraid to send it. We're about to make them more afraid on our turn. We now have the mana to play out the Terror, and then follow up with the Helm. The Helm will make map tokens with every Robot Overlord we generate, and that in turn will drain away more points from the opponent. This time, we will send the squad. They have one easy block, but then they have to start making decisions. They block up with their emissary, but it's going down a hole. They don't have enough mana to afford a nice coffin, so it's going in raw. We draw a Seminar. The only thing we have in the grave to get back is the relic, but with a Bay in hand, we can start sacrificing artifacts every time we untap. They pay full price for Halia, but all the life gain in the world won't save them from our Robot Overlords. The time to pay the ultimate price is coming up sooner rather than later. We'll go with our Bay this turn. We have enough mana to activate it and our Helm. We'll make a copy of our token factory, then we can sacrifice the real factory to our Bay to fetch out our second Terror. Then we'll be well on our way to wrecking this opponent. In the background, you can catch a glimpse of them saying GG's. They give it up. One was bad, but two would have been real terrors. GG's, extra cheese. This is Pandap Hour. He likes carrying around small skeletons. Nice one, bro. We get another 4-lander, but this time our hand doesn't have much going on. Mull. Then we get a Shuffler special. This has more action, though. We are limited, and we'll need to draw into a third land. Keep. We'll send one of the Helms on down. A case could be made that sending the Aura would be better, but I want to keep our hope alive that we might get a Ghost Rider. We draw a third land, now all we need is a black mana to be complete. Our relic draws us a fourth land. We are free of the Shuffler special, at least. They hit us with a momentum breaker. That's fine, we'll toss a land. We've got time to find more, and we can operate on just 3 mana. We draw another factory. We'll play one out, and that gets us started on setting up our board. On top, we have a fourth land, one that provides black mana no less. And a split up. I don't know if they'll have men, but it is better to be prepared than to be wishing we'd kept the split up. They make us toss a pair of cards. Now everything but the factory must go. On top, we have a Waterskin under the split up. Let's take the Waterskin first. It's another set of factory triggers. We'll put their removals to the test. They play out another momentum breaker. It will deal with our Robot Overlord, but will they be able to deal with two of them? They fire off a pulse to take out both of our factories. While once upon a time we were vulnerable to these strategies, we no longer are. We have a weapon that will get back our destroyed artifacts from the grave. Besides, our Robot Overlords still remain. We draw a bay, we can play it out, and sacrifice our Waterskin for a Ghost Rider. They snipe our Robot Overlord with a Stormbrood. Thanks to Ghost Rider's card-drawing ability, we have a chance to keep finding more weapons. We draw a relic and we can play it out and get another factory using the bay. On top we have a pair of lands. We have 6 mana already, so we'll keep one to be at 7, which is what we'll need for a seminar. They play out a Stormbrood and use its ability to snipe our factory. We'll send in Ghost Rider and see what we draw. That ends up being yet another land. In that case, we can double down on Ghost Rider and then use our split up to take out their dragon. They go with the Professor Fell. We're not too concerned about the prof, we just have to make sure they don't get the emblem. For the moment at least, they will be gaining more life than we can hit them for in damages. Oh hey, there's a seminar now. That will be our play, and we'll get back a factory. Once upon a time, having our synthesizers destroyed could slow us down, but now we can rebuild like most decks. On top, we have a 3 steps ahead and a Waterskin. Those will do nicely. They snipe our factory yet again. I don't know if they even know what the seminar does. They follow up with the new RAL, but I don't suspect he'll be getting them anywhere. Our seminar will give us our factory back. It is possible we'll be able to scry for the rest of the game before every one of our draws. On top we have a Waterskin and a land. We'll ship the land as it isn't needed. We'll play out our second bay, and we can sacrifice one of them to fetch out a terror. The Ghost Rider team will go in for damages. We'll split them up to prevent any shenanigans. They go with a blocker that also makes us toss a card. We'll toss the 3 steps ahead, but not in the way they want. They snipe our factory and a Robot Overlord, but that's like trying to swim uphill. They get their blocker back, but that won't be enough to save their strollers. This time we'll get a relic for the draw, then we can use it to get a helm. Being able to generate map tokens along with our Robot Overlords will speed up the drain process. It's time to smash. We'll send the Ghost Riders at their face, and we'll make them choose which one of their strollers they want to keep. All those removals and they pop like a firecracker. That's GG's, extra cheese. This is Rindrazy A. He raised a barn on Monday, now he'll raise another. We get a 4-lander with a helm and a sweeper. While this is fine, there's not much action. I think we can get a better hand. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with a bit more action, though it is a slow hand. Keep. We'll send the Terror on down. Ghost Rider is card draw, and that could bail us out. Oh no, bro is a slow-mo. Anytime this decade, bro, come on. The play out a Windcrag Siege. They're likely going with the token option, which gives them a little guy at the start of the turn. We're going with our factory this turn. We can get started making Robot Overlords on our very next turn. On top we have a Waterskin and a land. We like them both, and in that order. To my surprise, they sacrifice their token to draw a card. Usually you want to let your tokens build up for repeated damages turn after turn. We hit 4 mana, and we're going to pass the turn. We'll make a surprise synthesizer when they send their token. I'm pretty sure if they had a way to destroy our factory, they would have played it. They send it, and now is when we'll surprise them. And they are quick to explode. That's GG's. Only a little bit of cheese was needed. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.